All right, guys, what's going on? This is the Iceman here on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel, and it is Friday the 13th. How often do we ever see that? Maybe a few times a year. Um, Again, Friday, a long work night, and last night was TNA Impact Wrestling. Not a bad show um, by any means. I enjoyed it. But anyway, the show pretty much opened up with a recap of AJ and Dixie Carter's drama from last week where she received the package and it was a toy belt. And of course, that's pretty much where the show ended. Uh, Jeremy Borash came in the ring and was talking about the Feast or Fired match. He pointed out about the four briefcases. One would be for a chance for the TNA World Heavyweight title, one would be for the tag teams, and one would be a chance to face the X Division champion. And what basically happened was he turned to the Wheel of Dixie, and Kurt Angle came out, interrupted Borash, and basically destroyed the Wheel of Dixie. Uh, Angle very upset over the things that have happened in the previous weeks with Bobby Roode and his losses, and basically what happened, Roode and Angle confronted on the mic, back and forth, bickering back and forth, and really set up themselves for a final match at Final Resolution next week on Thursday night, which unfortunately is my last day I work before the holidays, which is a 15-hour day, so I'll have to wait and watch it on a Friday. But anyway, uh, that sets that up, so that should be a pretty good match, and hopefully that will resolve the issues between the both of them. But anyway, then we saw the video package with Joseph Park and Eric Young and Bad Influence from what happened last week, and they ended up having a tag team match last night. Um, Typical Joseph Park, Eric Young type of match with Bad Influence. It wasn't until Eric Young showed the blood from Joseph Park that Joseph Park decided to go into the abyss mode and really take down Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. And he ended up giving the black hole slam on Kazarian to ended up getting the victory. So, not a bad match overall, but, it was just one of those things. So then we saw, again, this guy really can't stand Ethan Carter the third. He was getting a massage and whatnot, and then his music finally hit, and he told Brian Hebner that he didn't have to worry about anything. He wasn't going to go after him. The crowd's chanting, "Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth!" But he wanted to face Jeremy Borash in a match. And it wasn't until then you heard Sting's music hit. Sting came out and said, "What do you think you're doing?" And pretty much it sort of shut Ethan Carter up for the most part. And Sting told him either, you know, get involved and take your chance in the feast or fired match where you could end up getting fired, or you can fight me right now. EC3 accepted the challenge, but the challenge was he said he will compete in the feast or fired match. I would have loved to seen Sting and EC3 wrestle, but it wasn't to be this week. And then we see Rockstar Spud going around looking for AJ Styles. He went to a gas station, getting directions to find out where he was, and he's hunting down AJ to find the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt for Dixie Carter. Then we had it where Gail Kim and Lady Tapa came into the ring, and she said it was another week for open challenge, and she's just like really cocky and arrogant, saying there's nobody out there that can beat me and whatnot. And all of a sudden we heard ODB's music hit, and she came out, and Gail Kim told her, "I already beat you," and ODB came out and said, "I'm not out here for you, I'm out here for her." And ODB went after Lady Tapa, and once it all started, all of a sudden, lo and behold, who returns to TNA is none other than Madison Rayne. I love Madison Rayne. She looks a little bit different. She's got longer hair, It's like reddish dark hair, or you know, auburn type or whatever. But her and ODB got into the ring and it forced Tapa and Gail Kim out of the ring. So that was a pretty good segment there. I really enjoyed that. And then we saw Rockstar Spud again, looking for AJ Styles. He went into a bar, um, and he had a lady bartender who wasn't, you know, too happy to see him and whatnot. And again, looking for AJ Styles. And then we saw a segment backstage where James Storm and Gunner were talking about their recent problems, and Gunner's basically telling James Storm, I'm sorry, but I did it for you and whatnot. And, Storm told him basically just, be focused on tonight. And as he walked away, he used his normal catchphrase of, sorry about your damn luck. So what that meant was, anything goes, So anyway, um, Rockstar Spud again finally found AJ's house, and we'll go from there. But anyway, Dixie Carter came out and she started her promo, and she started talking about Rude and Angle will be a best 2 out of 3 falls match. She was complaining about AJ Styles. She's saying how he's just made her look stupid, and he's got her title. And she said next week she'll have a real world champion, and it'll be her world champion. And she brought out Magnus, and then Jeff Hardy came out, and both Jeff Hardy and Magnus both said what they had to say on their mind. But keep in mind, they both, were actually complimenting each other, but both said when they're in the ring, you know, they're going to do what they got to do to win. And to be honest with you, this is going to be a great match because Dixie did decide for this match it's going to be a Dixieland match, and it's going to be inside a steel cage, and you have to climb over the top to get out. And once you get out of the ring, you've got to climb a ladder to get the TNA World Heavyweight belt, and then you become the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So I think this match is going to be pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, even though I won't see it as it happens when it airs on TV. But yeah, that should be an excellent match. So, and then we saw backstage about Chris Sabin, pretty much talking about how great he is, and he's with Velvet Sky and whatnot, and good old Chris Sabin, what are you gonna do? But and then Rockstar Spud found AJ's house, got inside. AJ was basically waiting for him. Rockstar Spud found the belt, but AJ either told him you can either leave, I can call the police, or he could take what AJ was going to dish out to him. So not a bad segment. These Rockstar Spud segments were pretty good, actually. Looking for AJ, I sort of liked it. So. Then we came upon the X Division title match. Chris Sabin with Velvet Sky going up against Austin Aries. Chris Sabin and Austin Aries, two pretty good guys in the ring. Both pretty much gave it their all. But in the long run and in the very end, Austin Aries ended up giving, the head buster or whatever you want to call it, on Chris Sabin, and a lot of it had to do with because Sabin almost got slammed into Velvet, and Sabin stopped, and Velvet and Sabin were sort of like talking with each other, which sort of distracted Sabin just enough for Austin Aries to, get him. So anyway, Austin Aries becomes the new X Division title champion. So now we come up with the Feast or Fired match. Mr. Anderson came out and introduced himself pretty much. Samoa Joe had made his entrance. Then Chris Sabin, Curryman, Dewey Barnes, Norm Furnham, Zema Ion, Hernandez, Chavo Guerrero were already in the ring. James Storm and Gunner were out next to Austin Aries when he made his entrance. EC3 made his entrance. So we had everybody in the ring. And, not a bad match. But, I don't know. These are one of those feast or fired things. Why would a big name guy want to go into one of these matches knowing that if you get the briefcase that you're fired, your career is over? But anyway, that's just how it goes. And so anyway, what basically happened there was okay. Let me see here. Let me think off the top of my head who got the briefcases. Um, yeah, okay. So Curryman got one of the briefcases and headed backstage. Of course, it's like Russian roulette. We all know about that. EC3 pulled down briefcase number 3. Um, After that, Zima Ion got briefcase number 2 and left the ring. And then Aries did the 450 splash on Fernham and Barnes. And, you know, ended up pulling down. Chavo ended up getting briefcase number 4, after getting help from Hernandez. So we had EC3, Zima Ion, Chavo Guerrero, and Gunner getting briefcases. And, after the match, Mike Tenay told the viewers they'll find out next week what the fate will be, of these 4 guys that ended up, getting the briefcases, because one's going to be fired. And, you got EC3, Zima Ion, Chavo Guerrero, and Gunner. Which one do you think is going to get fired? I would like to see either EC3 or Zima Ion go. I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly have a funny idea that it might be Chavo Guerrero, so we'll have to wait and see. And then after all that was said and done, Dixie was at the restaurant when Jeff Hardy joined her. She said pretty much she didn't expect to see him, and she lowered the blinds so the camera couldn't see what was going on. The show went off the air. So all in all, not a bad TNA Impact. I really sort of enjoyed it. Um, it leaves a lot of things to speculation. I think next week's Magnus and Jeff Hardy match in the cage and then up the ladder is going to be a great match. Although, I was given the spoilers earlier in the week, which sort of upset me about what was going on. But, in any event, even though I know the outcome, pretty much I'm going to watch it when I get a chance. So, but all in all, like I said, TNA Impact was pretty good, and a lot of people are against the feast or fired briefcases, but they haven't done this in a while, and when someone's going to leave the company, this is the perfect way to do it. I mean, so we'll just have to wait and see which one it's going to be. So this is the Iceman on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel. You guys enjoy your Friday. Tomorrow we have a big snowstorm event coming here in Connecticut Way. So things are going to change around here. So like I said, I got to work till like 1:30 in the morning. So enjoy your day. P.S. Be safe and peace, everybody. See you later.